All right, bam, we're live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Man, day 12 already of this new challenge. Time is flying by. Good to see everybody here. We'll get going in just a second. Boom, boom, boom. Share my screen. What do we have? TikTok, not much, not yet. Screen 20 share. Let me get over here. Okay. All right. So it's a Friday, and we're going to get into the 80-20 rule. There's an ancient Italian rule, and helps you understand success. Let's get into it. All right. So, where do you spend your time, right? As a remodeler, it can be very challenging. So, let's go through this. You got to buckle up, right? Because when you think of Italians for a minute, what do you think of first? So you probably think of pasta, pizza, or you think of guys that do like brickwork and masonry, right? And maybe they're eating some gelato. But I mean, Italy has brought a lot of good things that can be used in the remodeling and the business world. One of them is, more than just the carbs and the concrete, right? They bring something called the Pareto Principle. So back in the late 1800s, there was this Italian economist. His name was Vilfredo Pareto. And he noticed something pretty wild. 20% of people owned 80% of the land in Italy. So with that, what he did was he recognized that it wasn't 50-50. Nope, nothing was fair. Nothing was balanced. So there was a tiny minority that owned the majority. And here's the kicker. The more people looked, the more they realized that this imbalance started showing up everywhere. Right? So 80-20 rule. It's not the masses that own or is successful. It's always the minority. So here's what happened. Think about sales for a minute. 20% of your offers, right, close 80% of the deals. Think about that. In business, 20% of your product will deliver and drive 80% of your profit. So if you offer multiple things, let's say you do additions, decks, kitchens, and baths, pay attention because it's probably one or two things that are very profitable and the other things are bleeding you. So customer service, 20% of your customers are causing 80% of the headaches. This is important for why you have to weed the lead. A lot of you guys take a customer when you're desperate and they become a nightmare and they're a drain, and you would have been better off never even having that customer because it takes like 80% of your time and energy to deal with them. So this isn't theory. Like, this is real math. The Pareto principle is legit. It happens. It's been tested for over 100 years in different industries. And the brutal truth, like in remodeling, it crushes people. Because if you're broke and you're stressed and you're always behind, it's because you're focusing on the wrong 80%, right? You just got screwed up a little bit. You took that job that you shouldn't have because you felt like you were desperate. Sometimes when you say no on a Thursday, and yeah, I get it, you might not have a lot of money in the bank, but by Monday, a good lead comes along, and that's the one you should have said yes to. So why is this important for remodelers? Because right now, jobs aren't coming in for a lot of guys like they used to. So it's even more important that you understand the top 20% of people to run with those leads, right? A lot of guys are chasing for scraps right now, and they're running themselves into the ground. It's terrible. So look, stop writing all these free estimates for the price shoppers. And stop saying yes to all the nightmare clients because you're afraid of losing the job, right? If you're still you got to learn how to spread your marketing money across different channels, okay, and figure out the good ones and then make it stick. Once you find it, rinse and repeat. It really is. It's like doing laundry, and it's no joke. Anyway, I'm glad to see some people are jumping in. All right, so let's see. So if you're a remodeler and you're curious, like, why are you feeling burnt out right now, and why are you broke, and do you feel like you're behind schedule? The problem's not that you're lazy. You're working very hard. Don't discount that. It's not that you're not talented. You're exceptionally talented. It's not that you're like bad at what you're doing. The problem is that you've gotten confused where you're putting your time and your energy, and you've shifted focus, and you're putting it into the wrong parts of the business. You've landed a couple shitty clients that you shouldn't have, and now they're taking all your time and energy, and you can't focus on going out and getting the good ones. So understand that, like, there are 80% of the clients that will waste your time and never make you money. You have to learn to find the gold, and that's that top 20% client. And if you always just focus on finding the best clients, everything else takes care of itself. The profit's there, the relationship's there, the work relationship where you enjoy going to work with the homeowner is there, and then the referrals will be there, right? If you're working for the most worst clients because you're desperate, who are they going to refer you to, right? What neighborhoods are they going to bring you into where it's just junk and trash? You don't want to be there in the first place. Even if you're desperate, go work for somebody else for a month and then go out and land the perfect client. So 80% of projects that barely break even, they'll never get you free, right? 80% of the subs that screw up your schedule, they'll never help you build the empire. You got to find the top 20%. That's who you want to work with. Just because somebody's available, they might not be the right choice. So look, you're one person, right? You run your business, and we wear a lot of hats, right? And when you're in that stage, if you're doing the sales and you're the foreman, and then you have to be the therapist for the homeowner, and then you're also the janitor cleaning up the job site because your guys don't do a good job, like, that can be your reality when you're trying to grow your business. And because you're responsible for so much, and you're so spread so thin, it's absolutely crucial that you learn to discern and choose well where your time goes. Really, like, look at that client and say, do I really want to work for them? Is this really where I should be spending the next 6 weeks of my business? All right. If you don't, you'll spend your life savings with the wrong 80% of clients. So many clients are calling you up because nobody else wants to do their job, and you shouldn't either. Just kick them down to the competition. The best thing you can do is have your competition's name and number in your phone, and you share it as a contact. When that lead calls in and you ask them a couple good questions, like, so tell me, what are you looking for, ma'am? And if all they talk about, well, we want the cheapest, and we're going to supply all the materials, and we have had problems with all the other contractors that we've ever tried to hire, you can say, awesome. You know what, man, you are going to be I know the perfect contractor for you. My schedule's all jacked up right now. You should call Bill over and send him your competitor's name and number. Get rid of them. Send him over there so he gets busy with the crap, and then you can go focus on taking the good clients. So otherwise, the only thing that's going to be left is stress, debt, and excuses. Like, it's very real. The business is brutal. All right. But if you can flip it, if you take time, get your head on straight, and really look at it and stop being scared, recognize that you're afraid. That's fine. I'm not saying you're not afraid, but you don't act out of fear. You stop and you say, shit, things aren't looking good. I'm almost broke. I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills. And it's okay. I'm a professional, and I'm going to find a good client. And then you laser focus. You look at all your leads. Where can I get the best client to work for right now? The best. And that's who you go after. And then everything will change when you start focusing like that. So think about this. This Pareto principle, it can really change your business and your life. Think about it. If you started finding the top 20% of client every time, and they're the ones that give you 80% of your profit, how much of a boost is that going to be in 6 months from now? Right? You want the ones that respect you. They respect your time. They pay you on time, and they happily refer you to their friends. Their friends are good, right? Their friends have money. Their friends want a professional. It just keeps snowballing. Also, as you get these better jobs, now 20% of your projects are what you can use to showcase 80% of your portfolio, right? So you get that nice high-end kitchen, or you get that bath and addition off the master, right? That's going to only build your project portfolio so you can share it with more clients to show them your potential. And then it just leads to another good job after a good job. Stop taking the shit jobs. They don't help anyway, right? They don't build. It's not like you can get great photos out of them and share with the customer. A crap job's a crap job. And just send it to your competition. Again, have your competition busy doing the bull crap jobs so you can go get the good ones. Now, 20% of your marketing is going to bring in 80% of the real opportunities. So if you understand the internet and you have good Google reviews and you understand how to do Facebook and you know how to do a pixel and you understand it, great. If not, consider talking to somebody who does, because you can bring in good clients on demand, and that will help you as well. The quality of the lead that comes in, it all trickles down. If you're only attracting cheap clients, you're only going to have cheap clients to go present to. So learn to figure out how to get quality clients. Consider getting into a good networking group. All right, run around, meet with your local banker, the local business, the local chamber of commerce, right? Wear a nice shirt that day and show up a little bit organized and let them know that you do high-end professional work. You're a legit contractor. You solve the homeowner's problems, and they will let you know of other people that are successful. But you got to take your time. It takes a few months to get in these groups. Remember, also, if you have several employees, 20% of your team is doing 80% of the work. And for those guys, the 20% that killing it, they're dragging a lot of losers behind them, and it wears on them over time. And you got to learn to spot that. You got to be able to have a discernment and say, I got to get rid of this dead weight. Yeah, maybe that guy knows somebody or he's a relative of yours and you feel bad and you had to hire him, and maybe it's time to let him go because he's just dragging everyone else down. The 20%, the top 20%, they want to be around other top 20% performers. They don't want to be dragging around a bunch of slack asses all day long. Okay. Now, the flip side, if you get yourself into the wrong 20%, then that's where 80% of your stress is going to be. That one cheap client who calls you like multiple times a day, several times a week, right? You got that one sub that keeps screwing up the job, messing up your schedule. Or maybe you got that one marketing campaign that's not working and it's only bringing you dead leads, right? All of that can cost you a lot of money. So you got to learn to recognize it quick. Remember, your business, it's not failing because you're not working hard enough. Most of you are working exceptionally hard. It's failing because you're off alignment and your focus, all your work and energy is going into sort of the wrong thing right now. That's all we got to do is shift you just a little bit. Get you going in the right direction, and then you'll be right where you need to be. It gets so much easier because it's still the same amount of work. You just want to move it to the right area. So how can you do this, right? Well, look at your last 12 months. Pull up some of your past projects. See which one was most profitable. Which clients were awesome to work with? Who helped you the most? Who referred you, right? Which client were you excited to work for? Write that down on a piece of paper. What was it about them? What type of project? What was their personality like? Say, man, I want to work with. And then write down the ones that like drained your soul and your energy and you wanted to strangle them, right? Write that down. Look for the patterns. See, when you've been doing this, when you start doing hundreds and hundreds of jobs, you start recognizing good customers right away. When you're new, it's challenging. I get that. The only way you're going to figure it out is to just keep selling jobs, keep producing work, as many as you can. But pay attention to the clients and write down and review. Once you find good clients, contact them. Swing by occasionally. Say, hey, just seeing, how's the addition? If there's some issue, say, perfect, I'd be happy to take it. Do not contact past clients because you're afraid that they might want something or you did something wrong. Man, clients have busy lives. They'd love to hear from you. Give them a phone call. Hey, Bill, I'm going to be in the area. I want to stop by and check on that addition we built last year. How's it going? Let me take a look at the windows and see how the caulking is. Whatever. just re-engage with some of your old clients. Who knows? While you're there talking to them, they might tell you, you need to go talk to the Smiths. They just moved in 6 months ago. They've been over to our house. They liked our addition. They asked who built it. I told them that it was you. They're not sure who to hire. Go talk to them right now. That's what happens when you re-engage with your old clients. If you did windows for somebody a year or 2 or 3 years ago, call them up, stop by, knock on the door, say, hey, seeing how the windows are going. How are the kids? What's happening? Do you still do the thing you used to do? Whatever. Just be friendly and re-engage your old clients. You never know where it's going to go. But this is for the good people. All right. I'm not saying you go to all the crap. You go to the best clients that you have and you keep that relationship going. So it's called doubling down on your winners and cut the dead weight, right? Stop giving out all these free estimates. And just because somebody calls you doesn't mean that they're going to be a client. Just because they call you doesn't mean you have to do anything other than return the phone call. You explain when the homeowner calls and you say, hey, Mrs. Smith, thanks so much for calling. Miss Smith, here's the thing. Just like you're probably going to talk to a couple contractors, perfect. We talk to many different homeowners. We're not sure if you're going to be a good fit for us, just like you're not sure if we're a good fit for you. So just like you're interviewing contractors, we interview homeowners. So tell me more about your project because I'm not so sure it's going to work, right? You can have that kind of a conversation and let them know that you're in demand and let them know that you're not so sure you want to work for them because maybe they're not the right type of client. And you can explain things. Well, the homeowners that we typically work for, they do this and they tend to like this and they tend to do that, right? And we tend to do a paid design. That's who hires us. Oh, you're just looking for the cheapest price? Yeah, that's probably not us. Give that name and number of your competitors. Send it over to them. And the way you can use AI to help with all this is you can help. It's going to be like your coach, your analyst. So you're going to take your last 20 remodeling projects and you're going to write them all down and you're going to put in the profit margin, what you sold the job for, what you expected to make, what you actually made. You're going to list out the demographics. The homeowner earned this kind of money, right? Like what were they? Were they a school teacher? Were they a dentist? Write down what they did. Was it a husband and wife? Whatever, 2 spouses, kids, were their kids involved? Write all these things. What was the neighborhood like? What kind of cars did they drive? Like what were their activities? Did they play pickleball? Were they golfers? Whatever. Put that kind of stuff in there and it'll help build a demographic of, and it also get the personality of the homeowner because you want all that information to go into AI so it can start helping you understand who your client avatar is. If you haven't heard of that, that's who your ideal client is. So at the end of the day, you have a perfect client. So my perfect client is someone who's at least 50 years old, typically married, husband, wife, or, 2 dudes, 2 women, whatever. It's usually a couple of people because they have more income. Dual income people make much more money and families are more stable, right? I like working for homeowners and they may or may not have kids. But when they do, it's typically the kids are older, usually just getting off to college or about to graduate from high school. And typically the person's been in their house for a few years. And typically they have some sort of a job where they're not in the trades. So they need to hire someone like myself. They have no tools. They have no interest in doing it themselves. So I am the perfect solution, right? And they've been looking to do this for years. They've been saving for it and they have the money. That is my ideal client. And it's someone who values professionalism and is looking for a contractor that will be straight with them, produces a schedule, right? And communicates all the things that we do well. That's who I want to work for. When I get the homeowner calling me up saying I'm getting 4 bids and I'm looking for the cheapest, I say, I appreciate you calling. You might have gotten us confused with the contractor that you're looking to hire. And you just wish them the best. It's not even worth going out there. And you're sitting there saying, well, what if I do? What if maybe I'll land it? Yeah. And then you end up landing a horrible job and then it sucks. It's not worth it. Let them go. Just because they're out there doesn't mean, look, not every customer is your client. All right. So that's how you use ChatGPT. It's going to analyze your last 20 jobs and it's going to help you rank them. And it's going to help you figure out where should you be spending the bulk of your time? Where's your 20%? Right? And it's going to give you insights. And that's what you have to put in there. So this is the remodeler's edge, right? This is what makes the difference. So it helps you master the game and stay in it. So instead of chasing the cheap clients, you only pursue those who actually respect your work, and your revenue goes up while your stress goes down. Instead of doing 15 jobs that barely break even, maybe you just do 7 jobs that have double the profit. Think about that for a minute. All right. Sometimes you're better off doing a few less jobs, but they make more profit. Just go from one profitable job to the next instead of racing from one shit job where there's no profit and you're losing money to the next. That's stressful. It's not worth it. So instead of being stuck on that hamster wheel, this is how you scale and then you get up. So look, here's the kicker. Remember, only 3% of remodeling contractors are very successful after 10 years, long term. If you do these things now, you are setting yourself up to be the 3%, the one that survives. If you don't, and you do what everybody else does, where do you think you're going to fall? You're going to probably fall in that other realm where people fail and they struggle and the business sucks. Like some of you might have a spouse that works. So I get it. So you don't have to be as profitable. You can just kick around and struggle for years. But if your family's depending on you, no, you need to be the top 3%. It's time to step up and crush it. So again, here's your challenge. You run the prompt, you audit your past jobs, you find that 20% that carries your business, and that's it. The rest becomes much easier. So that's how you stop losing. This is how you can win. For those of you that are looking to win. If anybody has any questions, let me know. Otherwise, that's it for today. I appreciate you guys being here, and we'll be back again. Had some people come and go. Not seeing any comments. So anybody have any questions? Got any bids that you're putting out? Any leads that you're not sure how to handle? Not sure what to do? Any objections that came up you're not sure how to handle? All right. Well, guys, I appreciate you being here. And as always, you're welcome to come back at any time. Understand that we have tips. Okay. Hey, Aaron, tips for me starting on. So you want to get into masonry? Yeah, bricklaying. Awesome. So you're going to want to get yourself in touch with some other. Okay. So you'll want to also get in touch with some other GCs, right? Let them know that you do brick work. And then as you build up your book of business, you want to start looking for other homeowners. What else are you wanting to understand? Are you looking to work for builders? Or do you want to, are you trying to work for general contractors or just homeowners in general? Yeah, the best thing I can suggest you do is land a couple good jobs that are going to look really nice for your before and after photos, so you can get those out on some social media, whether it's your website or your Instagram page. And because that's what homeowners need to see. They need to see that you've done the job. Like in our area, you got guys that do acid washing for old homes, and clean up the brick repointing. They'll re-brick the front of the house if they have to. You got to find your niche. If you only are doing new construction, or I'm not sure. Yes, sir. Take pride in your work, 100%. Yep. And take pride in your business, right? As much as you're going to be good at laying the brick, also make sure that you're building up your business acumen. Take pride in being a good business owner. Okay. Work on all your skills, sales, project management, get your finances together, 100%. All right. We're coming up on like 25 minutes. People. Yeah, 100%. So it's interesting. So a lot of homeowners, like the brick home is one of the most popular homes in America, at least the brick front, right? You drive through any big housing development and people love to have brickwork and they want the front of, they would have the whole house brick if they could afford it. So some people end up getting such a large house that they just can't afford brick everywhere. So nowadays they'll only do the front, whereas in like the 70s, it was common that the entire rancher of that house would be brick all the way around. So yes, if you can do nice work, get clean, you know, and keep the job site organized, you will definitely do well for sure. And learn some, like a little niche, right? And make sure you can do like nice archwork, learn, all the things. And try to land some projects where you can really, showcase your creativity. So you'll crush it, Aaron. You'll do great. All right, guys, we just hit the 26-minute mark, so I think that's going to be everything unless somebody makes another comment. That'll be it for today. And again, if you need to see the replay, if you want any of the slides that I put up, the content, you can get that on our YouTube channel under workshops. You'll see all our lives. At this point, we probably have 60 some AI lives there. No, sir. That's awesome. So you're ready to go? Like, when are you going to land? Have you landed your first job yet? No, Aaron, you sound like you're on the ball, man. That's awesome. If you've got all that together, we got to you have to be getting some jobs now. Maybe is this like side work for the moment? Are you still doing another job until you launch 100% of the time? Okay, that's good. And you've got your skill set built up to where you know what you're doing. So let's figure out how we start getting you some clients, right? You got to make some flyers, maybe some door hangers, maybe set up your social media account, like at least maybe an Instagram. Okay, you know what you're doing. You got 5 years. Perfect. A basic web page. You should at least have a landing page, one page. Okay. So get your you got, if you get your company name, get your logo, have the web page, have your Instagram account. Perfect. Get yourself a shirt, whether it's a polo, at least a t-shirt, something that has your company colors. And if you're working for the subcontractor, when your shift is over, you can have you ever seen door hangers? It's a little flyer that has a circle with a slit, and you can hang it on somebody's door. You could go around to the neighborhoods where you're already working after work and put a couple door hangers up for your company. Right? So while you're working for the subcontractor, start slowly advertising your business. And maybe you start by doing a couple of these jobs just on the weekend. Yeah, buddy, you're going to do great. Make make sure you're following the account on TikTok and reach out with any questions. Message Aaron. You can message me anytime. Here's the thing, Aaron. If you know how to do the work, so if you understand how to do the brickwork, where most guys fail is they don't understand how to get leads. So think about this. If we can take the next month or two and you just practice figuring out how to get leads, then brother, now you got the business. You know how to do the rest. You'll find, you bring a helper or two on board. And then as you start booking a few more jobs, you bring on the lead mate, your lead mason, the guy who does most of the work. And then he has his couple helpers. The trick is just getting the business. And so that's what we start working on now. You getting comfortable handing out flyers, door hangers, getting your social media, get your website set up, get familiar, set up a Facebook account so that you can do some advertising. And then we got to get you networking with a few other contractors so that they can hire you, because you're going to be, as you go out on your own. Yeah, man, you're going to kill it. You're going to do great. So look, Aaron, you should get over to our Facebook group. Yes. So look, don't spend too much time. Just get a basic logo. If you already have your business name, just come up with a logo and get a couple business cards. Try to get that ordered over the weekend. All it's got to say is your company, what problem that you solve, and how to get in touch with you. Try to get a web address over the weekend. Go to GoDaddy, if you don't have one already. Try to get something that ends in .com, like amazingbrickwork.com or whatever. Try to have something that homeowners want. Like, I would try to not necessarily use my name. I would try to use something like, best brick available, whatever. Come up with some catchy little name and get that set up. And yeah, man, you're there. Because here's the thing, most homeowners, the first thing they're going to do is they just want to go online and make sure you seem legit. And all it takes to be legit online is the Instagram account, a Facebook page, and at least one page on a website. That's it. And as long as you can answer the phone, respond to a text message, reply to an email, you'll be able to start getting jobs. And try to focus on custom work. Don't focus on selling price. You want people to call you that want like something awesome done. So they'll be willing to pay you more money. There you go. Perfect. Yeah, see if that web address is available. Yeah, man. Yeah, you want to get set up, just get all that set up now. Don't spend too much time on it. Don't worry about it. Just get a basic logo together. You can always change it a year from now when you got a bunch of money rolling in. It's not a big deal. You just need something. There's a thing in business. It's called fail fast, fail forward, fail frequently. Right? I changed my business name 3 times in the first year. Like, just get your business out there and get started. And I found, like, one of the company names I picked, I started noticing it was attracting the wrong kind of clients. So within 6 months, we changed the company name. But I didn't wait 6 months to get going. I just went ahead and started. Right? So just get it out there, man. You got the name. Awesome. Yes, you're right, Aaron. When people know that your work is worth, there's people that will pay for it. Here's the thing right now. If you go around any part of the country, there are people with money that don't want to do the work and they want good people to do the work for them. That's who you want to find. So look for where do the richer people in your area live? Do you live, I don't know what part of the country you're in. Do you have like vacation homes near you? Most difficult thing, losing what's that last word? What's FEA? All right, so you're in Kentucky. Do you have some high-end neighborhoods near you? What about like where the colleges are? Is there is there a vacation area? Fear. Yeah, brother, here's the thing. Think about this when it comes to fear. We all have fear, and that's cool. I'm not saying you don't have fear. It's you still act even though there is fear. It's perfect. I'm afraid of doing a lot of things. I get afraid to say, should I go online at 5 o'clock or 8 o'clock, right? Whatever. I just go and get online. I'll figure it out. So you're in Kentucky? Yeah. So just get your door hanger. Go on to Canva if you don't have anything else and search door hangers and then just customize one for your company and make up like 100 of them. Find a Staples or order them online and get a bunch of door hangers. So here's the thing. If you're going to go door to door, remember, you just can't put something in somebody's mailbox. That's against the law. Okay. But you can open their door and stuff it. If they have a door knocker, you can put it there. You know what I mean? You can put it inside the door handle if they have the kind of door handle on a screen door. One guy, and you can do this. You can carry a little like rock, and you could just put the flyer and put a rock on it so it doesn't blow away and put it right up against the door. I mean, whatever. There's all kinds of tricks that you can do. So yeah, go to those nice neighborhoods and just start putting out flyers. Now, here's the thing. 3 flyers ain't going to do it. 30 flyers, maybe, but it's going to be like you're going to have to put out hundreds and you'll be putting out thousands. But understand that eventually it will start working. Okay. Just keep doing it. And here's the thing, make this your goal. Say, I'm going to get 50 people to say no to me. I'm going to find 50 people that want brickwork, and I'm going to get 50 people to say no. That should be your goal for the next couple months. Because every time somebody says no, you get one more step closer to yes. So just that's your goal. Go out and get them to say no. And once they say no, then you can ask them, hey, just out of curiosity, why are you saying no? And just out of curiosity, what would it be that I'd have to do differently so that you would say yes? Because then the pressure's off. You want them to say no. So that's how I would suggest you look at the fear. You just face it and go right for it. Whatever you're afraid of doing, that's the thing you go do right away. The best lesson I think I've ever learned in my life. If I was afraid of it, that's what I have to go do. Perfect. Now I know where I'm going. So, thank you, user 66573. Appreciate that. All right, Aaron, you're going to kill it. Go get it, brother. That's it for today, guys. I'll see you. Come back next time. All right, like, follow the account. And Aaron, you can always reach out at any point. All right, brother. You're going to kill it. Take care, man. All right, YouTube, that's it for tonight. So we'll catch you on the next one.